Today, my guest is former WWE developmental talent, Miss Kaylia Capri. Kaylia, how are you?
I'm doing great. I have my conch with me. I under the Capri Sun. It's a good, beautiful day outside today. I just can't ask for better. How are you doing?
Well, I'm glad it's beautiful for you. It's 9 degrees here for me.
Ah,
I've,
that'll do it. That'll do it.
I've had better days, but I'm happy that we've got to sit down and talk a little bit today.
Yes, I'm excited.
So let me ask you, how did professional wrestling come into your life?
So it actually came into my life just like you said with WWE. They were looking for athletes at the time, and WrestleMania was happening in Dallas, so I think it brought them to Texas during that time. I was just finishing up with school, and something in me. Well, it actually popped up on my page, and it was like WWE tryout, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'll sign up, and I did, and they reached out. They brought me out to the WrestleMania in Dallas tryout, and from there, I got a little taste of a world where I blended my real personality with my athletic attributes. And I got to go to the PC in Orlando. I got to experience so many things. The fact that out the gate, I got to meet John Cena walking into the PC. I was like, I'm never leaving. I'm never leaving. um, yeah, so when I was there, I learned a lot as well, not just about wrestling, but about myself and what I could bring to the sport of professional wrestling. And I got more interested as I went on and started learning. And man, when I got on the indies, that just solidified it for me because everyone on the indies openly, wholeheartedly accepted me in ACW, Wow, Women of Wrestling, Reality of Wrestling. All of these people just accepted me in so easily. And the people there, the wrestlers there, took me under their wing and taught me a lot, a lot, a lot. And man, here I am. We under the Capri Sun.
So how was that initial tryout during WrestleMania weekend?
It was amazing. I honestly had a blast. I'm a goofball. I'm an adrenaline junkie,
Hmm.
like from the Bahamas. I'm that girl who was climbing trees. I was racing cars. I was literally fixing stuff so we could go do some crazy stuff. And when I was there, I remember us having to do a lot of abs and a lot of push-ups and a lot of squats. And I was in there like, you know what? This sucks, but let's go, let's go. Like I'm that person in there, it's like let's go, everybody. And from there, I think I just took that approach, and I didn't even take, I didn't even realize how hard a lot of the things were. I think we had like this kind of workout where you did a burpee, jump over the hurdle, burpee, something something. Man, I ate that up. I was like, you ever see a dog show?
Hmm.
It was like I was in a dog show. I was like, ooh, okay. And I'm trying to compete with everyone. I don't mind woman, cat, bird. I'm trying to compete with everybody. Okay. So I'm like, okay, the boys just did 13. He's 6'5", 230. It's no way he faster than me. So I found competition within myself wherever I could find it, and I think that caused me to step out my box a lot. I think Matt Bloom, Triple H, they all saw something in me where they were like, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. Not only that being the fact that I'm the very first ever Bahamian female professional wrestler from my country, they realized that it was a lot that they could have possibly did with me. So I think those things, they stood out at the tryout, not just my fitness, my personal fitness, but just my personality as well. It just stood out. And I talked to everyone, and I remember everybody come to me and they were like, hey, they were talking about you, like they were hyping you up. And that's kind of when I knew, okay, there's a good possibility that my next job might
Hmm.
become professional wrestler. And it surely did. And I'm here.
Now, did you find out after the tryout, like the day of, or did they reach out a couple weeks later?
Yeah, some people did find out right then and there. I wasn't one of them. I wish I was, you know. But we don't beggars can't be choosers. But I found out like yeah, a couple weeks after I was among the very first couple that found out they
Hmm.
got the contract. And when I got my contract, I literally had my own contract signing. I at home. I recorded it myself. It was just me and my sister, and I did a whole entrance. I did a whole walk. Like I had some glasses, and I was like, the world's gonna get to see. At the moment, I was Lexini. I was like, the world's gonna get to see Lexini. But that was a good moment for me. But just being able to even get that contract, no matter how I got it, whether it
Hmm.
was right out the gate, whether it was later on, just getting that contract really meant a lot to me, and it changed my life like drastically. So I'm ever grateful for even having that
Hmm.
opportunity.
So, what was your first initial thoughts of going to the PC and seeing
I
how
was
professional wrestling is?
I was scared. I was scared. Okay, I was like, knowing me, I'm like, okay, you are a person that's an adrenaline junkie. 9 times out of 10, you are gonna get in trouble because you're doing something that you have no business doing, and because that's how my head works. When I see something fun, everything caution is out of the window. I don't see anything else. I'm like, let's go straight into it. So, I'm not. I was the one that wanted to get into Canadian destroyers in the first day at the PC. And my coaches, they had a lot on their plate with me. Like I could see it on their faces every day when I would walk in. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this girl is about to drive us crazy," and that's what I love to do. I love to drive my coaches crazy. So it was great going into there. It was pretty hard learning the technique, I must admit, because wrestling and track differ in the most
Hmm.
like the most graphic way in speed. Wrestling is a lot like I didn't even realize how much slower wrestling was. But track, it's
Hmm.
out the gate. The first step you make needs to be extremely fast. And because I worked on my mechanic for over 10 years, it was hard to get my body to stop propelling myself so fast. I was going, me and Braun Breaker, I could run the ropes with Braun Breaker. I promise you. And that guy is fast, okay? So, and a lot of the ladies are not that fast. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a sport where it's not about me.
Hmm.
It's about being able to participate. You understand? Like I can't outrun these people. We're not here to outrun each other. We're here to wrestle. We're here to put hands on each other, grapple, shoot, and see who really got it like that. So I had to decide to let my track
Hmm.
side really die down and fully commit my body and commit my mind to now becoming a professional wrestler. And that was pretty hard starting at WWE at the highest level where they
Hmm.
expect so much from people who don't know diddly squat about the wrestling world right now. But it was fun. I kid you not, it was a great experience. Like it made me who I am right now.
Hmm.
I can't be mad at it.
Was there certain things that you caught on to more easily, and that were maybe some things that were harder?
The crazy thing is, I caught on to everything easily. My coaches, I remember my coaches literally being baffled at how fast I would pick things up. My biggest issue was just simply slowing my body down because I picked it up so fast that I wanted to do it fast. And when you
Hmm.
do things fast and you're not a professional, you're liable to hurt somebody. And that's what
Hmm.
I couldn't get through my head, that me thinking that I could control my body and this and that. No, you need to slow down. You need to be in complete and total control of what you are doing, because these are people's lives that we are
Hmm.
playing with right now. This is not a game. This is not a joke. And that kind of was I believe, the rift
Hmm.
where WWE was like, oh man, if we could get over that rift, maybe we could possibly work with her. And as I'm not now in the indies and I think about it more and I get more knowledge on, myself as a wrestler, I look back and I'm like, okay, I can see why they may have just said, you know what? Let's put on the indies. She needs to learn. She needs
Hmm.
more experience under her belt. And I definitely did, because I was just in there like, they was like, this is not lucha.
Was there any particular coaches you liked working with more than others?
I loved working with every single coach. You have to ask that question to them. Did they love working with me? Because I think I messed with every coach the same. I loved messing with Coach Smiley. Coach Brookside was amazing. Coach Omni, he was amazing. I Coach Fit, I just loved messing with him because I knew he would like try to beat me up, and I'd
Hmm.
love to try to like escape his fight. While also poking the bear at the same time. Coach Carino,
Hmm.
amazing person. Cat, he was uh helping us with like promos and stuff like that. These people, I gotta find out their first impression of me. Because usually I'm a lot. And just how I'm acting right now, in person is like maybe ten times worse because I have more body language, a little bit more of my size, my pizzazz here and there, you
Hmm.
know. So, but I love them.
So how was the creative process? Did you know who you wanted to portray, who you wanted to be character wise while you were down there, and was it like a give and take process?
So I obviously knew what character I wanted to play because I am from the Caribbean. I feel like it's not many Caribbean
Hmm.
characters in wrestling that really truly portray what the Caribbean all about. I just didn't know how to bring it forth. I
Hmm.
didn't know how to connect my culture with wrestling because in the Caribbean we dancers. We're always jumping up and down. It's like gymnastics but outside and with music. So I was like, how am I gonna add that into this sport where now if I'm on TV I have to incorporate timing. I have to incorporate the fact that the person I'm with, if I was to try to do that, they might botch it for me because they're not strong enough or they don't get it technically what I'm going for in my head. And it's so much things that go into these things that I
Hmm.
wasn't thinking about at that point in time. So it was hard for me to say who Kaylia Capri was.
Hmm.
But now I know that I'm more clever than a lot of these girls. I know that I have more stamina than a lot of these girls because I be in carnival. I walk in the sun from morning to night, drinking my rum, winding up myself. You gotta be strong to do that, okay? Carnival is not for the weak. I realized that my culture is just so fun and colorful that I can incorporate it in my gear. I don't know
Hmm.
if you've seen, but my gear has been just getting better and better.
Hmm.
And I realized that now when I talk to these girls, it's okay to add a little spicy. It's okay to let them know when you under the Capri Sun, it getting really, really hot. And it's no exceptions, okay? If you
Hmm.
under it, it's hot and no exceptions. Don't cry about it. And I also realized that I being a proud Caribbean woman, that
Hmm.
pride, I should take that with me everywhere I go. And it's gonna lead me down paths to create bonds with people that are gonna propel me. Like being able to be in a faction with Spark the World, Jada Stone and Maya World. It was absolutely amazing to be with them. They built my confidence and they put me in a position at Reality of Wrestling to be noticed, to
Hmm.
be recognized. And I'm there blazing it up. Like all that shade they had, I'm clearing it all up. It's amazing. I'm able to bring that pride with me into the ring, and everyone is receiving it as well. I feel the fans. Sometimes I don't even have to look at them to
Hmm.
know what they're thinking, to know what they see. Like I feel them guiding me, and it's so amazing right now.
Did they did they know who they wanted you to be?
No, they
No.
didn't. They didn't. They had no idea. They completely left it up to me because they understand the culture.
Hmm.
They understand like there's certain things they may not understand that I would understand. So I think they kind of completely left it up to me, and I left it up to myself to like learn at my own pace. And sadly, my own pace wasn't their pace.
Hmm.
um, but I found out I know who I am now. I know what I'm portraying. When you see me bust a split on the top rope, then you just know it's but able to carry on stink, stink, stink. Or
Is
if you had that come, ooh, then you're in trouble.
is is there any particular moments that stand out more than others while you were there?
At WWE.
Yes.
I think the moment that stood out to me the most was my very first ever match.
Mhm.
That moment stood out to me the most because I realized exactly what I was getting myself into.
Mhm.
And I really had to ask myself that day, do you really want to do this for the rest of your life? Could you see yourself doing this for 5 more years, 10 more years, traveling the world? Do you see yourself really having a life like this? And that was like a reality check. I
Mhm.
was like, wait, what is this going to lead to, or what is this opening doors for? Because I've always been interested in action movies. I've always wanted to have my own superhero landing. I've
Mhm.
always wanted to just have my own persona as a cartoon character. And being there, being in it, realizing how good I am, I was like, wow. If I choose to do this, I
Mhm.
might just shock the world. I might just be the next Michael Jackson of wrestling.
Now, how nerve-wracking was that going into your first match? Because training's one thing, but when you're in an actual match, like, how was your mindset going into that?
Man, my heart, I didn't let it show, but my heart was beating out of my chest. My
Mhm.
heart was beating out of my chest. I was thinking about 14 million things at once. I was flustered. I was all over the place. And I honestly just was like anxious to get it started and get it over with. Um, if I had to pick out the mistakes I made in my first match, it was that I was thinking about 100 million things at once. What
Mhm.
I should have done, the advice that I would have gave myself now would have been calm down.
Mhm.
You are a professional. You train for this every single day. The best case scenario is going to come out of the situation if you simply walk in there calm and clear headed and
Mhm.
focus on the task at hand, which is to entertain, keep this person safe, put yourself over, and simply have a great time doing it. You understand that?
Mhm.
That is the goal. Like, and it's so simple. Once you think of those things and then you let it go, you go in there and you just
Mhm.
everything just clicks. Everything just clicks. Like I go in there now. Before I was so scared to do a wrist lock. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like track is like track is a non-contact sport, so touching people it was very uncomfortable for me. Like being in someone's face,
Mhm.
looking at I really like uncomfortable things for me. So wrist, I had to do like a wrist lock um match, and I didn't like it. Her hand, like I swore I had it locked, but it was not locked at all because her hand kept slipping out, and I was like, what is going on here? What is going on? I got like top wrist locks. Like my brain was jumbling up, like top wrist locks, bottom wrist locks, and all of this other stuff. Like I was just so flustered. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna just mess this up. And I was just all over the place. And my coaches seen it, but they seen it so many times. I
Mhm.
am not an exception of what is happening at WWE. I am not the first person it's happened to. I'm not gonna be the last person it's happened to. They see this all the time, and they're just gonna wait to see how you come back from it, how you shake back.
Mhm. Absolutely. Was there anybody you enjoyed working with during your time there?
Oh my God, Jada Parker. My favorite match was with Jada Parker. She really started to build my confidence. I think I had like a few matches before I got her.
Mhm.
And she, I matched with her. She just showed me how to be confident in a match. That was the first time I was more comfortable in the
Mhm.
ring.
Mhm.
And I kind of wasn't second guessing myself as much when I was with her because I was like, okay, I train with her. Like we do this all the time. So it was very, very easy. Um, that was fun. That was fun. I took a teardrop. So my stomach knows how all those girls feel.
So, leading up to your release, was there any signs? Were you still being used regularly, or can't you get that word out?
I think it was so funny when I got released because I think the day before the conversation that I had with Coach Bloom was just about me being so individual, being
Hmm.
so different, something that wrestling, would enjoy seeing. And of course, I didn't have it in my head after that conversation that I was going to be released. But, conversations like that don't actually solidify
Yeah.
your spot at WWE. Being on TV solidifies your spot at WWE. So, I in the moment I was a little naive, thinking I was not going to get release. But like I said, now that I'm on the indies, I see exactly why. I see exactly why. The level that I was developing, I don't believe it was fast enough.
Mhm.
And for my character in specific, I think everybody else had characters where they could just dive straight into something. I believe my character is just a lot more complex. She is somebody who is different. She is somebody who is being
Mhm.
presented to the world for the very first time. And it's very important to me how I present her. I want her to be strong. I want her to be dominant. I want her to be literally what Caribbean women and Caribbean culture stands for. I didn't want to just have a love triangle and be like,
Mhm.
no, I want to literally like actually really tell a story and show people I'm here
Mhm.
committed to professional wrestling.
So, they just said that you weren't developing fast enough for what they wanted,
I
or?
didn't actually get a real response from them. I'm
Mhm.
just assuming right now. I'm just assuming the development wasn't fast enough for them. I
Mhm.
didn't actually get a reason. I asked, and he said it was just names on a list, and
Mhm.
yeah, like it's nothing that I can do about it. I think everybody was upset about it though because ended up meeting a lot of people because we all met up at another WrestleMania. We all went there at the same time, and I just remember seeing everybody, and they were so happy to see me. They were like, "We were so baffled when we heard like you got released." Like
Mhm.
everybody, and I believe them because it was just not. It wasn't just them that was so surprised.
Mhm.
It was pretty much the whole NXT universe who was keeping up with me. When I posted it on Twitter, it blew up,
Mhm.
for no reason. To me, it was for no reason, but to everybody else, they saw the potential. They were like, wow, like this girl, if you really pour into her,
Mhm.
she's gonna be huge. Like she's gonna be a star.
So, what made you want to continue wrestling after your release?
I wanted to really figure out, was I released because I just wasn't good? Or
Mhm.
was I released because they know it's something that I need to learn before I
Mhm.
could go to that next stage? Because Jade Cargill, same story. She was released. She went on the indies. She built herself up, and now look where she's at. Right
Mhm.
back exactly where she wanted to be. I feel like WWE has been inside business so long that they could see these things from a mile away, and
Mhm.
they make harsh decisions very, very quickly because they know how to benefit you or the situation as fast as possible. And I said, okay, let's test it out. Let's test it out.
Mhm.
And I got into contact with ACW, JB Cool. And he gave me a shot. He said, okay, you know what? Come to Ocala. Let's come to the Ocala show. If you do good, I might let you come back. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I went and I had a match with Cassandra Golden. I was out there having a blast. Okay. I said, let me show him every reason why he should keep me here. Let me show him what I've been working on, what I've been studying and things like that. And really give him something that he wants to keep in his promotion. And if that works,
Mhm.
if I become somebody that he really wants in his promotion and he sees value in, then I think I understand what WWE is trying to do.
Mhm.
And rest assured, everything just fell in place. I went to school at Devon Dudley Academy. They taught me everything. They taught me everything from the basics because it's a smaller school. They're able to
Mhm.
actually microscope you and watch you and really tell you exactly how to fix it, as opposed to WWE where they got to keep going. They can't
Mhm.
hold your
Yep.
hand. So Devon, he held my hand. Jake St. Patrick, they held my hand. Kiki Roberts, they held my hand, and they guided me through this process, and they tighten me up wrestling wise. And then they sent me out and said, guess what? You can do this. Focus. You can do this.
Mhm.
Went to JB, had that match with Cassandra. He was like, okay, this girl has something. And he was like, okay, we may keep you around a little bit more. And then I said, okay, let's take it bigger. Let's see if I can get on TV.
Mhm.
Um, I ended up meeting Valentina Mafioso on when she had a tryout. And it was so crazy that I talked to her the day before I got released, and I reached out to her, and I said, "Hey, would you be able to get me in contact with David McLean?"
Mhm.
And David, he definitely holds certain women in high regards. He's an amazing stand-up guy, and he holds certain women in high regards for the right reasons. And she helped me get in contact with him. Also Ryan Katz as well. And I spoke with David and he was like, okay, let's bring you out to LA for maybe a tryout. Let's see what you got. Once again, I'm in a position of, did WWE let me go because I'm just not good,
Mhm.
or have something for me to learn on the indies? I said, if I go to David McLean in LA and this man likes me, I might just be missing just a few little things that I need
Mhm.
to repair on the indies, and then I might have a shot at being back in WWE. When I got there, man, I did my tryout. I did it for Selena. She absolutely loved me after I did the tryout. I did a big coast by coast.
Mhm.
I jumped from like one corner to the next. Like, they saw me do all of that, and they was like, "You are high flyer too. We like you. We like you. You're gonna stay here. What's your name gonna be? We need you. We need you." They helped me out with costumes, and that was the first time I was ever on TV. So I got over my TV jitters. I got to
Mhm.
see what it's like being on production at WWE. I got to see behind the scenes production, to see, how they would switch the cameras, and I got to see, why certain things are important to know as a wrestler. So I was able to apply those things in the ring at WOW, being in front of those cameras. And man, just to watch myself on TV and watch it blow up all over the Bahamas,
Mhm.
full country government officials calling in, telling me that they're watching and they're paying attention and they're so proud. Like, that's when I realized, I said, I think WWE just wanted me to learn a few things on the indies.
Mhm. You're doing great there. And then what led to Booker T?
So what led to Booker T was actually Maya and Jada. I was watching all of the great work that they were doing. I actually already met Booker T at NXT. So I was
Mhm.
like, this is another big opportunity because Booker is huge in the world of
Mhm.
wrestling. So if Booker would allow me, because he actually, maybe he got to see a little bit of me at WWE. So if he's interested still, that was another test of myself. If Booker is still interested and he allows you to come on his promotion, and then
Mhm.
he lets you come back again and again, and they book you again and again and again, you might be doing the right thing. So I went there, and I got there for the Sherry Martel Classic.
Mhm.
That was fun. I had to run in because I had to help Maya and Jade. I couldn't let my girls lose their titles. I had to help them real quick. But I officially joined Raw during the Sherry Martel Classic, where I was so ecstatic. I
Mhm.
learned all of this stuff on the indies already, and this was my time to apply it to a promotion that had a following like none other. Okay, an
Mhm.
audience none other, who is committed to who they're committed to, which is like Zilla and Promise and Alex Gracia, and they have their favorites. If I could win these people over, and I am just now getting here, I'm on the right path. And that
Mhm.
first Sherry Martel Classic popped me off from there. And like, everybody saw that. They saw me do my split on the rope. They saw how aggressive I was in there. They saw that no matter if the girl is bigger than me, no matter if
Mhm.
it's 2-on-1, no matter if it's 4-on-1, no matter if it's 1-on-1, no matter what goes on in that ring,
Mhm.
Kaylia Capri is bringing the heat every time.
So what's next for you?
What's next is to just continue at Row. I want to solidify myself at Row. I have a big, big title shot coming up against Alex Gracia. And I have to admit, I want her title. I want her title. I know she just got it, and it
Mhm.
looks great on her. And I do love her as a person, but I want that title. I want every title from every promotion that I am
Mhm.
a part of, every advertising company that I'm a part of. I want to be the star
Mhm.
because I know that I can carry that torch, and I'm ready to carry that torch. I'm ready to be where everybody's shooting at. I want to be Mercedes Monet. That,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? I'm ready for people like her to see me and say, okay, she's on the same path that I'm on. But you know what happens when two
Uh-huh.
people on the same path?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm ready for that historic moment. I can see myself at a WrestleMania with Mercedes Moné and Bianca Belair and Trinity Fatu and
Mhm.
Charlotte Flair and maybe Asuka and Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley and Nia. I can see myself there with these women, and I can
Mhm.
see the spots that I could do with these women. I could see all of the things that I would do to reverse their everything. And I know it all starts with taking over where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
So big titles championship match coming up at Rogue, and I'm ready to put my more than my best foot forward. I'm ready to
Hmm.
show Alex, girl, if you want that, you have to hold on to it.
So it's safe to say that a WWE return is the end goal.
WWE return for
Hmm.
sure in the best, most flaring way. I want to return when nobody would ever expect it at the best time, the most
Hmm.
best crucial time for me to return.
I would say that you're on the right path to do so.
Thank you. I'm excited.
If you had any advice to give to anybody getting into professional wrestling, what would it be?
My advice would to be do it because you really want to. Do
Hmm.
it because it really drives something inside you and it lights a flame inside you and it makes you wake up every day and want to take care of yourself, not just physically,
Hmm.
but mentally. Do it because it provides you comfort. Don't do it because you just need a job and you just need some money and you just want to be on TV. Do it for a real reason and really commit to it. And if you don't commit to it and you know someone that is doing it, definitely commit to supporting them. Commit to finding ways to support them, whether it's sharing their stuff on Instagram or, posting links and letting people know, hey, my friend is she's performing, you can watch it here and be that person that they
Hmm.
can depend on. So no matter how you're affiliated in professional wrestling, be ready to be a partnership, no matter how you're affiliated, whether you're a fan, a wrestler, you just an avid watcher, you watch here and there, it does not matter. Be ready to support and be 100% genuine in everything.
Where can people reach out to you at?
Y'all can reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok while we still have it at __ LEXINI or just search Kaylia Capri on Google and all my platforms can pop up. Because you already know who the hottest, your fave professional wrestler is.
I just want to say thank you for what you've done for professional wrestling and what you continue to do. It's been an honor to have you on and follow your journey, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today and letting me speak and just, asking me so much great questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And if there's ever anything that I can do, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you. Have a good day.